would end up trying to kill each other. Pacquiao rivalry to be renewed. Having already faced Manny Pacquiao 4 times between 2004 and 2012, Mexican Juan Manuel Marquez isn't shutting the door on another bout. Juan Manuel Marquez's legendary rivalry with Filipino icon Manny Pacquiao remains one of boxing's most unforgettable sagas. Their battles were nothing short of brutal. No holding back, no dancing around. Just pure, unfiltered warfare. And of course, who could forget the thunderous knockout Marquez delivered that sent Pacquiao crashing to the canvas? Though both fighters have officially hung up the gloves, Pacquiao recently made a brief return to the ring, squaring off against Mario Barrios in a bout that ended in a draw. Add to that the buzz that surrounded Mike Tyson's clash with Jake Paul, and it's no surprise that fans are wondering, could Marquez and Pacquiao meet again in an exhibition? In a recent interview with the Mexican boxing outlet Izquierdazo, Marquez revealed that has already been approached about the idea. While he remains committed to retirement, he didn't entirely shut the door on the possibility. Let's see what happens. They've asked me about doing an exhibition, Marquez said. But do you really think it would be just an exhibition with him, Pacquiao? That's never going to happen. And what, 2-minute rounds? Would end up trying to kill each other. Better to just leave it alone. Despite that caution, Marquez didn't rule it out completely. I'd never say no outright, he admitted. But we'll see. I said I retired and I've stuck to that. Still, let's see what happens. When did Marquez and Pacquiao last meet? Marquez last fought in 2014, defeating Mike Alvarado by unanimous decision. 2 years earlier, the Mexican faced Pacquiao in the pair's fourth and most recent bout, avenging his 2008 and 2011 defeats to the Filipino with a stunning 6th-round knockout triumph in Las Vegas. Marquez and Pacquiao also drew in 2004. Get your game on. Whether you're into NFL touchdowns, NBA buzzer beaters, world-class soccer goals, or MLB home runs, our app has it all. Dive into live coverage, expert insights, breaking news, exclusive videos, and more. Plus, stay updated on the latest in current affairs and entertainment. Download now for all-access coverage, right at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Terence Crawford reveals the tactics he used to beat Canelo Alvarez. The undefeated American spoke about the night in which he made history once saw Alvarez sign the contract. Terence Crawford couldn't hide his smile. The American knew the stage was the biggest of his career, and the perfect arena to prove that boxing still had an undefeated king. In his mind, the fight against Canelo was already won before the first bell rang. On September 13th in Las Vegas, more than 70,000 fans filled Allegiant Stadium to witness what was billed as a fight for the ages. On one side stood Alvarez, the Mexican champion who had built a career as a global icon, his name carrying the weight of an entire sport. In the other corner was Crawford, moving up 2 weight classes and stepping into the brightest spotlight of his career. The risk for the American seemed enormous. The reward? Infinite. Yet few in the industry believed he would pull it off. The key, as Crawford later admitted in an interview with Inside the Ring, was rooted in history. He had studied how Floyd Mayweather Jr. dismantled Alvarez with elusive defense. He had analyzed Dmitry Bivol's disciplined approach, which neutralized him completely. He had even noticed lapses in the Mexican's bout with William Skull, when Alvarez's limited mobility betrayed him. For Crawford, the blueprint was clear. I knew I was going to beat him, he said matter-of-factly. Whenever Canelo faced a style like mine, he struggled. I had all those weapons, and more. Despite the grand setting, the fight began under muted expectations. Most assumed Alvarez's size and power would end it well before the final bell. Canelo looked to impose his strength early, but quickly ran into an airtight defense. Crawford blocked, slipped, and countered with patience. His punches weren't flashy, but they were relentless and effective. Even as the rounds wore on, Crawford insisted Alvarez's power never felt decisive. There's never been a formula to beat Terence Crawford, he said, so I knew I had a good chance of winning. While the crowd waited for Canelo's explosion, Crawford quietly built a masterpiece of precision. As the championship rounds approached, his corner issued a final warning: they are not going to give it to you. Crawford responded by pressing harder, raising the tempo, and dominating the last 2 rounds. When the final bell rang, The judges confirmed what had already become obvious. A unanimous decision crowned a new king. The victory extended Crawford's record to 42-0 with 31 knockouts. More importantly, it placed him on a historic pedestal, the first fighter ever to unify all 4 major belts in 3 different divisions. The last fighter to achieve such dominance was Henry Armstrong in 1938, when Undisputed carried a different weight. And yet, in the aftermath, Crawford sounded almost indifferent. "I don't feel anything special. It was meant to be," he said calmly, as if greatness were his natural condition. That, perhaps, is the most striking part of his story. Crawford never described the fight as an impossible feat, but as an inevitable outcome, the result of preparation, study, and conviction. The night of September 13th in Las Vegas will be remembered as a turning point in boxing. Not only because Alvarez ceded his throne to an opponent who outclassed him, but because Crawford reached a summit that had seemed locked in the pages of history. Since Henry Armstrong, no one had unified 3 divisions. Everyone doubted it could be done, except Crawford, who saw the weaknesses long before the contract was signed.